everybody, this is Alchemist 2, and I'm back again with another movie review. Recently I decided to watch Drillbit Taylor, which I know has a little bit of age on it, but I love Owen Wilson. I just think that he's such a comedic actor, and he's just so likable. You cannot not love the guy. I mean, he's just funny and charming and good looking. At least that's my opinion. Though I typically don't go for the blonde actors. I like a man who is darker hair, dark eyes, preferably Mediterranean. But anyway, anywho's, moving on from that little topic there. Um, I really love this movie. I just think that it was beautifully done. There's a lot of good messages that are in it. Well, of course, there's a lot of fighting that goes on, which I don't necessarily condone, because fighting really doesn't bring about anything but more provocation and more violence, and nobody wants to see that, and people get their noses broken, and somebody can lose an eye, and it's then you gotta call the paramedics, and then you got a hospital bill on your hands. So yeah, not a good situation. But anyway, this has a lot of good moral lessons, and you've got Drillbit in the beginning, and of course the kids that hire him to be their bodyguard, they don't know that he's just a guy who lives on the street as a bum, and Drillbit's not his real name, and just all this other stuff. I'm not going to go through it. If you've seen it, then you know. It's really, really good, and it's very funny. Lots of funny lines in this movie. They just come zooming at you at every which way and direction, and they're all really well executed, and the humor is just absolutely terrific in this. And I think it's one of my favorite comedies of all time, because I really haven't seen a comedy that, gives me a good belly laugh, except for The Heat, which made me laugh like I hadn't laughed in a long time, and I needed a good laugh. I just I've been going through quite a few issues recently, just with different things that have been going on with the health of my dad, and the fact of the matter that I haven't been able to start my externship yet, and my advisor, he's still trying to collaborate with the hospital where I'm going to go volunteer, and unfortunately nothing has been finalized or solidified yet. So there's still kinks in this plan that are being very laboriously ironed out. Oy vey. But anyhow, I'm looking at this at a very positive angle, because I am an optimist, and that's what I do. And I just do my best to keep my chin up and my head held high, and keep a smile on my face and twinkle in my eye. Didn't mean to make a poem there, but it's how I roll. This movie was really funny, and it just made me glad to be alive, and thank God I'm not in high school anymore, because I hated high school. I hated all my years when I was in grade school, or what they call elementary, and then junior high, and then high school, because they all sucked. And they were just absolutely terrible, because people would make fun of me because I was different than everybody else and nobody understood me. And yeah, I was that kid that just, I tried to be the class clown. Okay, this is confession time with me. I thought that if I could make people laugh, then I would immediately be popular and everybody would love me. And I thought I could make friends really easily. Of course, it wasn't really difficult for me to make friends anyhow, because I can charm the pants off of anybody. I've got charisma. But anywho, that little plan that I had, that stratagem that I had poised earlier in my life, didn't quite work so well. Yeah. When I was in junior high, I discovered that people were laughing at me rather than with me. And at that time, my ego wasn't really so strong as it is today. My ego still suffers from the occasional bruise when somebody calls me a brat and spoiled. Yes, I'm an only child. Yeah, I know that. And I'm not a brat. Come on. I'm a good kid. I try to do my best to helping other people, just like Drillbit did. So I can relate to Drillbit in this film, except I'm not a bum and I work hard and etc. But uh, I think in this movie I could relate mostly to Wade, even though my family's nothing like that, and I can say that thankfully my father and mother were always by my side, especially if I had a really crappy day and I would come home and I would say, I want to kill myself. There's nobody in the class that likes me. Nobody understands me. And I would go on, and everybody's making fun of me, and I'm all alone. And the hugest transition that occurred, I mean, I was very outgoing, and I would make friends as soon as you could drop a hat. It was no big deal. By the time I got into junior high, everything changed because my best friend, who was like a sister to me, and I forgive her for doing this, but I was a late bloomer and I really didn't see what was so interesting about boys. I was more into Power Rangers and other things that I guess kind of made me geeky. Yeah, I had a crush on Jason Narby, but come on, he's cute, but married now. Rats. But getting back on my train of thought, uh, my best friend, who was the closest thing I had to an actual sister, she started hanging out with another girl who was more mature than I was, and probably cooler than I was, and she was a preacher's kid. Yeah, enough said. So at that point in time, I became a loner, and I hopped from group to group of people, and I didn't really have friends, so to say. Nobody that could really relate to me in any way, shape, or form. I was given the title most unique when I was in high school. Woo! But anyway, it made me who I am today. I'm a stronger person because of it. And I see this film and I think, yeah, I can say that going through all of the trials and tribulations that I did at that point in time made me who I am, the very essence of me. But I don't know why I said it that way, but this film just made me happy to be alive and glad that I've climbed up from muck and mire of my painful childhood and class and school. School was not a good place for me. I didn't really thrive. I kicked everybody else's butt when it came to getting good grades because I figured out what the teachers wanted and I could deliver in full form. But beyond that, I rose to the top, and this film made me see that, even though somebody may be kind of flawed, they have the chance of turning themselves around and making themselves something better. In the end, people can change. People have the ability to change if they give themselves, if they're open to the ability of changing themselves. And I went through a period of time where I was a very angry individual, but luckily, I'm not so angry now. I've actually gotten over a little bit of that anger. Anger really doesn't do anybody any good, and I found that giving people a smile and just listening to people is very important. And what's very fascinating about this film is he opens himself up to being an actual mentor and his whole world, it's completely transformed. And I have to say that I love this movie quite a bit. And if you love Owen Wilson, oh, I can't even talk. My mind is completely gone. Maybe because it's too late. But um, anyways, if you love Owen Wilson, then you'll absolutely dig this movie and love it with every little piece of your heart. I give it 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, and it's very enjoyable. You can watch it with your kids. Don't wait until they're about 13. Don't let them watch it if they're younger than that, because it might give them some bad ideas, and they need to know that hitting somebody is not the way to solve your problems. But it's just a really solid comedy film. It's a lot of fun to watch, and if you were like me, you could probably relate to Wade, and just the fact that people just made fun of him just because of how he looked and all that. And yeah, I've been there, done that. And I walked away, and I've become stronger. I've been able to stand up for myself, and I have integrity, and I haven't really met my success yet, but I think that in the near future I shall meet my success, and all the dreams that I have been daring to dream, those little seeds of reality, they'll someday become truth. I know they will. And first thing is to have success, which is so close. It's almost in my grasp. And then after that, I'm thinking that love won't be too far away. It'll come. I'm not worried about that. Success is more important than that. You need a way to actually afford being in a relationship and taking care of somebody else before it actually occurs. So planning in advance is always a good thing for the unexpected, because the unexpected happens whether you want it to or not. Because it's unexpected. I'm going on a philosophical rant here. Sorry, can't help it. I'm just full of information and full of inspiration, particularly because of this film, and it just made me happy. And glad that I had a chance to see it and see Owen Wilson in his true comedic form, and just made me happy that I'm not one of those people that has to belittle others to feel good about myself. No, I'm an encourager. I'm a motivator, and the way I do that is through constructive criticism and the smile, always with a smile. And of course, I make them laugh, and I'm good at that. Something I was born with. It's just I'll say something really, really hibbity pibbity, and people don't expect it, and like, whoa, where'd that come from? It's out from left field. You're crazy, girl. Yep, thank you. Appreciate you noticing that. I'm insane, but not so much to be a proclaimed psycho or clinically so. No, I'm kind of a little bit eccentric in a good way. And I'm proud of it. Well, I really should say I'm proud of it, because that might make people want to call the men in the white lab coats and send me off into a rubber room and me. Thank you, but no thank you. I don't want to go there. No, it's not meant for sane people. Other than that, I really don't have anything else to say about Drillbit Taylor, other than it's really it's really marvelous film, and anybody can enjoy it. So until I see you next time, excuse me, I will be grown-ups too, hopefully, and I shall see you around. Catch you on the flip side, Clyde.